Hello everybody, Captain Marty Brill here. Friday, April the 24th. Got a lot of things going on. Got a big surf fishing tournament going on down on Hatteras Island. The 41st annual 4+ surf fishing tournament. When Justin and I were down at Red Drum Tackle in Buxton last week, they were really looking forward to it. And we're grateful that you are here participating, visiting the area. It really is a shot in the arm after a long winter for us. We're grateful for that. Got lots of fishing news to share with you. I'll be back in just a moment to do exactly that.
Ahoy there, folks. Captain Ben Brown here, and I want to invite you aboard the Miss Organella 2. She's a modern 60-foot headboat outfitted with the latest top-quality safety and fishing equipment. We make multiple trips per day out of the world-famous Organella Fishing Center. Visit missorganella.com or call us today at 252-441-6301, extension 1. So ditch the beach for a bit and set sail with the Miss Organella 2.
Let's be real. No one wants to deal with nasty varmints like mice, roaches, creepy crawlies, and critters. Leave that work to the experts at Outer Banks Pest Control. Outer Banks Pest Control is the best on the beach when it comes to eradicating those unwanted creatures. They've been in business for over 25 years with well over 100 years of combined exterminating experience. Specializing in both commercial and residential properties, Outer Banks Pest Control has all the tools and equipment necessary to take on any pesky job. They pride themselves on top quality customer service and workmanship. Hey, if it ain't red and yellow, it's just some coattail riding fella. Outer Banks Pest Control, the best on the beach with a proven track record of excellence since the year 2000 and online at outerbanks-pestcontrol.com.
Before we get started, many of our regular listeners know that I spend a lot of my summer working with different billfish tournaments in Hatteras and Oregon Inlet, and then also do some other smaller tournaments, private tournaments, things like that. But I don't really have much to do with these surf fishing tournaments, and some of them, like the what they call the Big Hatteras tournament, are some of the biggest surf fishing tournaments in the world, and they are hard to get into with a team. You might get on as part of a team, but it's a big deal. Really competitive, just as competitive as the offshore stuff. And some of these people take it really, really serious. Some of these people, I'm really mostly doing it just for the fun, but there is plenty of fun and plenty of fellowship. And I highly recommend asking your local tackle shop about how you can participate. A good weekend to do it this weekend as well. So we start with the Hatteras Offshore Report. They had great blackfin tuna fishing again down there. They've had some king mackerel as well. And my old buddy Ron Whitaker on the release. They released a blue marlin yesterday, one of several I've been hearing about over the last couple days. And they had good inshore fishing too. A nice assortment of sheephead, blues, red drum, and I mentioned the king mackerel. They're kind of in the intermediate zone between offshore and inshore. Some of these sheephead are getting up and over 10 pounds. And that again, I always say, if you're in town, you weren't planning on going to charter a boat maybe for offshore, well, consider going on a backcountry boat or a smaller boat for a 3 or 4 hour trip inshore. And the sheephead fishing is really, really good. There's bluefish around. You're gonna catch some fish to eat. You're gonna have some fun. You're gonna be back to the dock in time for lunch. So keep it in mind. Oregon Inlet fleet had a slower day on the fishing. A few blackfin tuna, a few dolphin fish or mahi, and a few king mackerel, but it sounded like it was a little bit on the picky side from the ones that I talked to, so we'll just have to wait and see. I did not hear of any of the glory fishing that they've been having last weekend close to the beach with bluefin tunas and big drum, so that's a little bit on the quiet side. But the action, especially great for a tournament weekend, is in the surf, and we had blues and drum at Cape Point. That's not breaking news to anybody, but I heard several things. Red Drum Tackle, my longtime sponsor, Bobby and Kara and the crew down there in Buxton, reported that there were some stripers and big drum at Ramp 38, and there's a lot of activity between bluefish, and we mentioned the drum, and the drum are in all size ranges, really. A lot of puppy drum, but a few bigger ones. Then there's also some sharks, and these are both little small sharks, what we call dog sharks, and a few bigger sharks, sandbar sharks, hammerheads, things of that nature. And also, when we're talking about surf, we're seeing now some of the first sea mullet north of Oregon Inlet, and a few drums starting to show up, puppy drums starting to show up there too. So the whole crowd is moving north. The piers still pretty slim on them right now, but the Rodanthe Pier is open, reporting 56 degrees temperature and a actual seafood platter available on the pier yesterday. Croakers, sea mullet, spot, and blowtoads. All four of them may not be as glorious as a big drum or a big bluefish, but let me tell you something. If I could sit down this evening with those four species, scaled, headed, gutted, scaled, and pan fried, where they're crispy, you can even eat the tail like a potato chip, I'd be a happy camper. And we also are starting to hear a little bit of activity on the Old Bonner Bridge, which is now a free fishing pier, a great asset to the fishing community. A few puppy drum were caught on that, and a few sheephead as well. So that's a lot to talk about. We'll take a little break, though, and come back and talk to you briefly about what's going on in the backcountry. So don't go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Captain Jay Cudworth of the Kokomo with Paradise Dolphin Cruises at Safe Harbor Marina in Wanchese. I want to invite you to take a ride out on the Roanoke Sound to see the majestic bottlenose dolphins up close. As a native, I'll be telling you stories from these waters as a boy growing up in Wanchese. Nature and history have combined to make this area unique, and I love sharing this special place with special people. So come on aboard with me and my crew and experience the real beauty of the Outer Banks. For more information, go online to ParadiseDolphinCruises.com. Again, this is Captain Jay. I look forward to seeing you soon.
I know old Gray Davis on Hyde Guides, friend of Dickie Harris, and he's really good at what he does. I know he's been catching some big drum in the Sound, and I'm not hearing much else if anybody else is catching them, but he can catch them when nobody can catch them. I know Jimmy Simonson, my old friend from up in Newport News, he loves to go down there and fish with Gray out of Englehart. He lives right down the street from me, but he'll fish anywhere, in the Sound, in the rivers, around the inlets, wherever the fish are is where he's going to go. And it's right now a little bit of a connoisseur's fishery, and they're not everywhere. It's going to take a little bit of luck and a little bit of experience to catch them. What is plentiful in the northern rivers and up on the north end of our area, like up around Elizabeth City, Currituck, just about anywhere you go, the blue cat bite is on. Lots of catfish being caught. And there you go again, and not glory fishing, but really good to eat and a lot of fun to catch. And they fight. They're really fighters. I like to go somewhere where something's going to bend the rod. I want to have bites and action when I go. So I'll take a catfish. I'd rather catch a bucket of catfish than sit around all day trying to catch some kind of big trophy fish. It's just me. In fact, I'd rather sit out in my front yard in the pond and catch a brim than go out on some big adventure that is just rough and cold and wet and all that. I in my old age, even though I spent a career fishing offshore Oregon Inlet on a charter boat, I've gotten a little bit soft in my old age. So anyway, that's really all I have for today's report. And again, glad to see everybody here for the 41st annual 4+ surf fishing tournament. And, be safe. Go out and wet a line. You're not going to catch them in the motel room. Be sure that you let the good Lord bless you richly today.